a She-Hulk based Easter egg, and one of the trailers dropped recently that no one is talking about. And I think it has a lot to do with how the upcoming Disney Plus 9-episode miniseries called She-Hulk Attorney at Law might play out. Don't forget, the date for the series to premiere is August 18th, 2022. Now, this Easter egg might lay down the groundwork for the storytelling that goes on in this series, and at the very least, it may completely change up how She-Hulk's arch-enemy, Titania, is portrayed in the series in and of itself. So, we're going to talk about all of that right now. Welcome back to the Mama Saga, where this Marvel-loving mama is a mother by day and a lawyer by day, but breaks down comic book sagas, movies, and shows like She-Hulk by night. Okay, so here goes. Let's first take a look at the Easter egg itself. Okay, so take a look at this screenshot that I obtained from one of the trailers that have recently been released. In this image, you can see the character of Jennifer Walters as she sits on a bed with a box of her stuff. I'm thinking that this is probably a scene where she first goes to her cousin's house, Bruce Banner's house, to stay over. Now, on the right-hand side of this image on the wall beside Jennifer is a poster, and it's a poster that is connected to the Shakespeare classic play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Keep in mind, this is a blink and you miss it sort of thing, as many Easter eggs are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but this is key. I knew as soon as I picked up on the existence of this poster that it must have a direct relationship with the storyline. Why? Because one of the characters in that play, written by the Bard himself, is that of Titania. And you know, Titania is a pretty commonplace name, is it? So I think this poster really, this play and its storyline factors in somehow to the storyline that's going to unfold over the She-Hulk Attorney at Law Disney Plus series. Let's see how the Easter egg affects the storyline. If you're unacquainted with either Shakespeare, A Midsummer Night's Dream, or both, no worries, I'll give you the TLDR right now. So the play itself was a comedy that was written by Shakespeare in around 1595, and its main plot concerned the marriage of Theseus and Hippolyta. Immediately I think about the ship of Theseus theory that was discussed between Vision and White Vision in the Disney Plus WandaVision miniseries, but I digress. Now, there were several subplots in that play that revolved around the marriage of Theseus and Hippolyta that had to do with romance and love. I think by now you've seen in enough of the She-Hulk trailers that some of this series will revolve around Jennifer's love life, where she's out there meeting guys, being stood up by them, swiping right and left on them, getting crushed on by them, tracksuit bros, anyone, and even more actively dating and mating with them. So sure, that's one connection between She-Hulk and A Midsummer Night's Dream. But to me, there's got to be more, and we're talking more than the name Titania being a common denominator. Now, in the Shakespearean play, 2 women and 2 men run off into the woods, and Puck the fairy makes the 2 boys fall in love with the same girl. The main plot of A Midsummer Night's Dream is all about love, sure, but I'm thinking that perhaps in the She-Hulk miniseries, 2 male characters will fall in love with the same woman, Jennifer, and Titania, her arch-enemy, may very well want love and attention herself from one or both men, only to get snubbed. Or, perhaps, Jennifer steals love away from Titania in a more general sense, like Titania was getting clout with the public, even as a villainess, and then, whoops, here comes the Green Giantess to steal her thunder, so she doesn't like it and seeks revenge against her. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, the character Titania is the fairy queen who holds sway over the magical fairies, but her husband Oberon, he isn't into her anymore. She ticks her husband off so much that while Titania is sleeping, Oberon spritzes her with a magic potion that causes her to fall in love with the first person she sees, which ends up being another character named Bottom, a dude who has a donkey's head. But Oberon still loves his wife, so after he sees what a loving person she can be over the course of her magically induced love affair with Bottom, Eventually, Oberon reverses things so that Titania loves him, her husband, once more. What's interesting is that the other characters in the play are all just simply chasing after new love. They're in the throes of the passion that comes with a new relationship. In contrast, Oberon and Titania are married and have been together for a long time and have had to wrestle with the difficulties of maintaining a relationship. And this pair actually do end up with one another better than before. So perhaps Titania is a paramour of another superhero or supervillain. Emil Blonsky, perhaps? And when that male character falls for She-Hulk, Titania decides to battle her out of jealousy. In the Marvel comic book saga, the character of Titania is basically invulnerable. She's one of the most powerful women, a true rival for She-Hulk. And these two have gone toe-to-toe a bunch of times in the comics, but in the MCU, the character of Titania is being reimagined somewhat. She's an influencer who's a little goofy. Actress Jamila Jamil is portraying Titania and has said the following: "We're telling a brand new version of Titania, concocted in showrunners Jessica Gao's brain. It's very modern and fresh and silly and funny, but still with the through line of Titania's insecurity being at the core of all her issues with She-Hulk." And let's face it, when it comes to love, many women get insecure really hard, really fast. And She-Hulk leans into her gorgeous green giantess mode with confidence and abandon. And I'm telling you, that's gonna lead to all of the pleasure of witnessing a gutsy girl fight with none of the guilt that comes from watching one in real life. As this series drops and unfolds, I might just revisit this Easter egg and my theory about it. So make sure you subscribe to my channel to keep up with all things She-Hulk, my legal breakdowns about anything from the courtroom aspects of the series — I am a real attorney — my live stream reactions to each episode, and more. Anyway, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok and subscribe to the Mama Saga for more comic book saga breakdowns, Salty Mama style. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.